Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into something straight out of medieval Britain, the Order of the Garter. Now, this isn't just any order of knighthood. It's the top honor in Britain and one of the most exclusive clubs you could ever imagine. Traditionally, only 24 knights could be members at any one time, alongside the reigning monarch and the Prince of Wales. This prestigious order was started by King Edward III back around 1348, and at its core, it was all about setting the true elite apart from the rapidly growing number of knights in that medieval world. Imagine it. Every year, there's this grand gathering at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. You've got these knights in full regalia, a spectacular display that takes you straight back to the days of chivalry and pageantry. Edward III created the Order of the Garter as a way to honor top knights, a kind of exclusive brotherhood dedicated to both St. George and the Virgin Mary. Edward had just come off a huge victory against France at the Battle of Crécy, and he was ready to showcase England's strength by founding an order with the best of the best knights. In medieval times, orders like this weren't just about honor, they were also strategic. They helped gather military knowledge and loyalty, ensuring these knights would be there for the king if things heated up. It also meant that instead of pledging to some religious order, these knights swore allegiance to the crown, which was a big deal. Edward and his son, the Black Prince, were the first members, joined by 24 knights who had fought with them. And with membership came the right to wear a distinctive dark blue garter, a special symbol that let everyone know you were part of this elite circle. The order even had its own coat of arms, displaying the flag of St. George surrounded by a garter. Over time, the order grew with its own priests and even a group of poor knights who prayed for the full members and in return were given food and a place to stay at Windsor Castle. And let's talk about the garter itself. There are different theories about why Edward chose it as the order's symbol. Some say it wasn't a garter at all, but rather a sword belt, while others go for a more romantic story. Apparently, at a ball in France, a lady, maybe the Countess of Salisbury, lost her garter, and Edward, being the chivalrous king, picked it up and supposedly said, "Honi, soit, pense," or, "Evil be to him who thinks evil of it." Those words stuck, becoming part of the order's motto and symbolizing loyalty to Edward's claim over France. Now, the Order of the Garter's regalia only got more impressive over the centuries. They wore blue robes with a garter on the shoulder and, for special occasions, an actual garter above the knee. By the time of Henry VII, the order's attire had leveled up to include gold and roses and a medallion showing St. George battling a dragon. Even today, members wear a unique star symbol introduced by Charles I, and they add a blue sash across the shoulder if they're not in full robes. So this ancient order, full of medieval pageantry and pride, has somehow kept its grandeur alive through the centuries, even adapting its style for modern occasions. And now let's talk about the interesting role of the Garter King of Arms. This person is like the top herald in Britain, handling all the formal and symbolic matters tied to the order. The very first Garter King of Arms was Sir William Bruges back in the 15th century, and even today, this position holds a lot of ceremonial weight. You'll recognize him at official events by his unique badge and a gold scepter adorned with St. George's flag, the royal arms, and a crown. While he oversees the order's day-to-day matters, the reigning monarch is still the one with the ultimate say on who joins. Speaking of membership, in the early days, only those with serious military experience could join. Even today, the ranks of the 24 companions of the Garter often include former high-ranking officers, keeping that martial tradition alive. When new members are inducted, it all happens in a grand ceremony in Windsor Castle's throne room. With 2 knights as their sponsors, the new member receives their garter and robes directly from the monarch. In a moment rich with tradition, the Garter King of Arms ties the garter around their left leg as an old admonition is recited, calling them to be courageous and steadfast in any just war. Back in medieval times, Knights of the Garter had strict rules to follow, like pledging never to fight on opposing sides, staying in England without the king's permission, and always wearing their garter in battles and tournaments. Today, the order keeps its 24-member limit but has extra or supernumerary members. These are typically royals, foreign dignitaries, or notable political figures. Women weren't official members back in medieval times, but they were allowed to wear the garter on their left arm. This practice ended with Margaret Beaufort, Henry VII's mother. But in 1987, the order opened full membership to women, known as lady companions. Margaret Thatcher, for instance, was one of the first women admitted as a full member. As for the perks of membership, they're more than just ceremonial. Members can add KG after their name, style themselves as Sir or Lady, and even get invited to major state events like royal weddings. Heraldry-wise, they get the right to add the Garter emblem to their family coat of arms, which is hung in St. George's Chapel at Windsor. Above their private stall in the chapel, there's also a personalized flag, which is removed when they pass away, leaving behind a plaque to commemorate their membership for future generations. Every June, there's a grand annual gathering at St. George's Chapel. If new knights are joining that year, there's a morning ceremony in Windsor Castle's throne room. Afterward, the order's members don their full regalia and join a magnificent procession from St. George's Hall to the chapel, a sight as breathtaking as any coronation. This pageantry has survived for centuries, offering a unique window into Britain's rich medieval traditions, still alive today.